Hello, my name is Carrie Lentz, and I'm the District Vice President for Edmonton East at TD Canada Trust. TD is very proud to sponsor Eric's New Women's chapter of the Career Mentorship Program. This program will feature a series of modules designed with women in mind for professional growth and personal wellness. Please check back each month for new and exciting installments. Enjoy!
Again, I mentioned my husband and I have 2 young girls, so it's particularly important for me to constantly be reassessing that and evaluating it. Another aspect, Doug, is that there's some sort of myth that exists about home-based businesses being the easier sort of alternative to working the 9 to 5. But let me tell you, in actuality, it's not the case. It takes time out of your hands, more, in my experience, more than that 9 to 5. And at times, because things pop up at any given time and they require your attention. So those are some of the things that you need to consider on a personal level, and no one else can answer that besides yourself. Another aspect, you want to consider your skill set. What are you good at and what are you not, right? A good example of this, I have clients who want nothing to do with marketing. Absolutely hate it. They have no inclination for it. But what's great is that they've done what I call a personal SWOT analysis. They've understood their strengths, they've understood their weaknesses, their opportunities for improvement, and their threat factors. This is where you should be. This is where you want to be. Remember again to research, read. So you can try to educate yourself on those skills that you're lacking, but if you're not into it and you just don't want, then you can pay someone to do it, right? Someone more qualified. And this is where that network element also comes in, because you can also reach out to those individuals and share your concerns with them, find out what they did, get some input, and make your decisions that way. Now, I know that at times when you look at these personal considerations, you might end up thinking, well, maybe I need to reconsider a few things, right? Or perhaps the time is not right. You may need to shift that, but that doesn't mean failure, right? It's really important that when you're considering these things that you don't get discouraged, right? But you remain realistic so that when things do get tough, which they do, you're able to withstand that tide. So there's quite a few things that you can do to set yourself apart from other entrepreneurs. And the first thing that I gotta say is to keep yourself organized, right? I always say you need a notebook ready and handy. So any thoughts that you have, any items that you haven't done, put it in writing. My memory is not so good. So I have, my notebook is my friend. Get a blank notebook, local dollar store, head over there, grab yourself a book. As an entrepreneur, you can't really keep up with everything in your head alone. So you need to stay organized. Use your calendar, use your email calendar or on your phone. As soon as something comes up, write it down, put it in your calendar. And the last thing that you want, Doug, is to end up losing money or clients because you just weren't organized, right? The other thing that I would recommend is phases. So break your plan, your overall plan, into various phases. This sort of goal setting will make it less overwhelming. So just break it down. I want to be able to do ABC. This is my phase 1. And phase 1 is projected to be complete at date, right? So plan and review your plan. And if it needs to be adjusted, that's fine. Things change, be resilient, ready, and move into circumstances, right? Business hours is a big one. So set those clear business hours. Now, the downside is when you're starting out, the luxury to completely switch off, it's not readily available, right? So without consequences. But in general, set some time to sort of dedicate to work and in your business hours. That way you can manage all your other responsibilities. And this actually ties into the next suggestion of self-care, right? Burnout is real, and it has a tremendous effect on your health and your responsibilities. If you fail to take care of yourself, they won't be a business to run at the end of the day, right? So, but it's also detrimental to your own well-being. So make sure you're staying hydrated, you're not skipping meals, you're sleeping the adequate amount of time. Because when you take care of yourself, or when you don't take care of yourself, your business gets affected negatively. So it's very important to just remain cognizant of that aspect, especially as an entrepreneur where almost everything is just falling in your hands, right? The other thing that I would suggest is to use technology to make your life easier, right? I mentioned earlier that you can set up calendars to keep yourself better organized. There's so many other innovative platforms that you can gain access to that can make your life a whole lot easier. So, for example, there are online platforms that will do your digital filing. They'll set appointments for you, manage your accounting and your marketing and your projects, just a whole bunch of stuff. So read research, and really take advantage of ways to sort of streamline your business. You can also take this time to think about areas that you're struggling with. And more than likely, there's some innovative tech that's out there that can help you improve on those areas. And sort of the last bit that I would say is start doing what the big kids are doing. And you may not be able to compete with them, but set yourself up for success by slowly beginning to create processes for your business. It may sound like overkill, but it really isn't. It's a proactive approach. Build those custom processes according to your personal expectations and targets. Yeah. You'll change them as you go, but it's very important to do so. My biggest one is thinking that I can do everything all by myself. So I remember I had our eldest daughter was 2, and our youngest daughter was just born. And at that time, I was doing my MBA. My husband runs his career business, and I was doing mine. And I had the mindset of I want to be able to do it. I want to be able to put my hands in it and do it all. But what ended up happening is that at the end of the day, by like midday, anything that happened after midday, I wasn't giving it my best, right? And so what I had a come to Jesus moment. I had to realize that, first of all, no, you can't do anything, everything on your own, and to ask for help. And asking for help isn't a sign of defeat. It's an empowering thing, because then you've come to realize something about yourself and you're doing something about it. So that was probably one of the most important parts of my career is being able to delegate and being able to ask for that help and accepting that that's okay. So yeah, and I'm pretty sure that a lot of people do go through the same thing. And it's part of the business.